You can't mention drill music in Kenya and not mention Buruklyn Boyz.
Buruklyn Boyz in the building!
They've been considered the pioneers of Kenyan drill music, or the first group that started making drill music.
Tuna take over Nairobi mzima, east, west, mpaka CBD.
And since their debut in 2019, they've been terrorizing the music scene with their hard drill songs.
One day could talk for systems. B-boys gonna come back in. MRIGHC, don't play with me, I'm a comeback kid.
When they were coming up, the Kenyan music scene was saturated with gengeton, and almost every artist had a gengeton song, but not Buruklyn Boyz. They came up with a different sound and a different energy. And after dropping the visuals of their song Nairobi, people went crazy. They made Nairobi look like the UK, and people wondered if that is the same Nairobi they know. But at the end of the day, we were all proud. The Buruklyn Boyz were flying the Kenyan flag high. Surprisingly, this song did not have any promotion, and thanks to the internet, which made the song go viral. And from then on, fans knew that these boys were about to change the hip-hop music scene. And you can also change my life by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. So let us explore the rise of Buruklyn Boyz and how they managed to take over Nairobi mzima, east, west mpaka CBD. Everyone wants to get out of the wood and live in a better place, unless you're living in Runda. And that was the case of Buruklyn Boyz. They even did a song called Dream ya kutoka kwa block, or The Dreams of Leaving the Hood, a song that sounded like a prayer, where the Buruklyn Boyz were stating their hopes, ambitions and desires. So did the Buruklyn Boyz get out of the block? We'll find out in this video. But first, let's go way back where it all started. When drill was introduced in the Kenyan music scene in the early 2019, the future of this new sound was uncertain, and a lot of people and even artists in the industry believed that the sound will go nowhere. It was considered as the violent version of hip-hop, as rappers were fond of using a vulgar and violent language. The videos were more graphic, as they were seen covering their faces and even moving like a mob. It was something that was never seen before, and for this reason, people saw drill music as a passing glance. We know that the music industry in Kenya is not always welcoming to artists who enter the scene with fresh ideas, but Buruklyn Boyz managed to break the barriers. And a few years later, the drill sound went mainstream, and it is still growing and still standing. They did not do it alone. We also have other groups like GTA and Wakadinali. These artists collectively amplified and simplified drill music as they delivered their lyrics in Sheng, a language that fuses Swahili, English and other indigenous languages. At first, it was referred to as the music of Gen Zs, but the sound evolved and became widely accepted across different age groups. As we speak in 2024, Kenyan drill music is getting played on multiple television and radio stations. Buruklyn Boyz in particular have risen above the rest thanks to their consistency and the quality of their music and video production that gave them fans ranging from both uptown and downtown. If this is your first time coming across this group, you might think they come from Brooklyn, but no one in Brooklyn speaks Sheng. So why are they calling themselves Buruklyn Boyz? Buruklyn Boyz is a product of Buruburu, or let's say they come from Buruburu. So they coined their name from that estate, simply taking the first part Buru and creating Brooklyn. Buruburu is located in the middle of Nairobi, an uptown living area known as a place of many talents since the early days. It's also known for having some of the best pimped public vehicles or manyangas. And I know you have heard Tandonane at the beginning of most of their tracks. It is the area code or the number on the public transport vehicles that ply the route to Nairobi CBD from Buruburu. The group has even imprinted the number 58 on their clothing as a way to pay homage to their hood Buruburu. Now, most of the members in the group grew up in the same place. Despite the fact that there are too many and move like a mob, most of the members there are not idlers. Some people design the merchandise they wear, others do the marketing, while others have different roles in the group. But the face of Buruklyn Boyz, or the most notable members, are these two, Mr. Right and AJ. Their manager Ali Buds is also a crucial member, as he played a big role in the success of the group. AJ's real name is Jason Okanda and is best known for his lyricism. For instance, in this song Pre, AJ is praised for his chorus in the song. On the other side, Mr. Right's real name is Malvin Nganga, who is also a legendary rapper and songwriter, and this is evident in songs like Pigalin and Location 58. Now, these two, AJ and Mr. Right, attended the same school. It was at this time that they discovered their love for music, but they never knew they would rap in the future. They were just friends.
Kwa kitambo watu tumejuana kutoka shule tunakutana kwa block. Pia huko kwa block bado tunakutana. Nikakutana na AJ. Ikakuwa ni music. AJ pia alikuwa anaroga kidogo, pia mimi nilikuwa naroga kidogo. And then tukapushiana ikakuwa ni 5-8.
They also met another friend in high school called 𝙏𝙝𝙠, who later became their producer, and they still work closely to date. After studies, they began freestyling and posting their videos on the internet, especially on Instagram. And as fate will have it, people loved their freestyles. In the year 2016, AJ was a huge fan of drill music, and he was listening to rappers like 𝙏𝙏𝙬, Central C, and other UK artists. So he influenced his friend Mr. Right, and they began listening to a lot of UK music. And eventually, they loved drill so much. After observing and seeing other countries embracing the drill sound, they decided to make their own version, which became the Kenyan drill music. But even before becoming the famous Buruklyn Boyz, AJ and Mr. Right had ventured into the music industry on their own, particularly AJ, who released his single Psycho and another song called Trapping. In 2019 is when they came together and formed Buruklyn Boyz. Their first song was this song called 𝙏𝙏𝙖𝙣 𝙔𝙤𝙧, which was posted on YouTube on April 14th, 2019, launching their career officially. At this time, Buruklyn Boyz were not making drill music, but they later changed after getting inspired by the UK drill rappers. As other drill artists used English in their songs, they stuck to Swahili because for them that is their language and it sounded dope. Their first drill music video is Billie Jean. Billie Jean was released on 12th September 2020, and it was well received and inspired the group to release their hit song Nairobi. The song Nairobi was released on 23rd December 2020, and it was produced by Def Beats, mixed and mastered by 𝙏𝙗𝙠, and the epic and visually appealing video was directed by the legendary Omoke. The idea of shooting within the city of Nairobi got people's attention, but this was not the first time that an artist was doing a song about Nairobi. Jua Kali gave us Karibu Nairobi in 2015, which was a good video, but the Buruklyn Boyz video was an upgrade, and nobody thought that such a young group could shoot a video like that. As we speak, the song has accumulated 4 million views on YouTube alone. Nairobi was their breakout single, but this was not something they expected, because according to Buruklyn Boyz, Nairobi was supposed to be a freestyle, and they were to give it out to a music vlog channel called Nairobi Report. Apart from the song going viral, the phrase Kwani ni kesho also became a trend, which means you have to do things today, not tomorrow. Like subscribing. You need to subscribe now or today. Si kesho.
Kwanini kesho? It means like if you're supposed to do something, you're doing it today and not tomorrow. So when someone asks you, or when someone asks you in Nairobi or anywhere in the world, if someone asks you kwanini kesho, you just tell them si kesho.
It ain't tomorrow, not tomorrow.
Yeah, we're doing it today.
Anyway, they now use the kwanini kesho phrase in most of their songs today. After this song, they were hailed as one of the first groups to bring the drill sound to Nairobi, but it wasn't an easy job. According to AJ, drilling is an art that needs to be mastered. You can't wake up one day and decide to be a driller. You have to understand the beat and love it. Brooklyn Boyz went on to release other songs like 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 𝙔𝙤𝙪 which was released in 2021, and Wild that was also released in that year. Just like Nairobi, the video of the song Wild was also shot by Omoke, and as always, he did a good job. And speaking about videos, Brooklyn Boyz have perfected their music videos, and almost all their videos depict the typical driller's lifestyle, like drawing gang signs in the video and moving in a mob with covered faces, proving that they're indeed the hardest drillers in Kenya. I've mentioned drill many times, and for anyone out there wondering what drill music is, let me explain. Drill is a subgenre of hip-hop that originated in Chicago's South Side in the early 2010s. It was curated by teenagers whose lives were consumed by gang warfare, police brutality, and all manner of violence. Some pioneers of the drill sound were Chief Keef, Young Chop, and Lil Durk. Later in 2012, drill gained traction in London, but it underwent objection from the London police as they claimed that gangs were using the drill music to promote gang culture, which led to the increase in knife crime in London. The police even got into partnerships with digital service providers such as YouTube in order to moderate drill music content so as to limit violence. Anyway, the drill sound went global, and we even managed to experience other great drill artists like Brooklyn drill pioneer Pop Smoke, who was sadly assassinated in February 2020. Other young artists from different countries like Ghana, Sudan, and Kenya began experimenting and using their own style and language. In Nairobi, the drill music has been received well and has not been criminalized and censored by the media and the police like in the UK and the US. Just like true drillers, the Brooklyn Boyz may portray a gangster-like image in their music videos, but you need to understand that it's just music, and they are not gangsters in real life. According to AJ, he's grateful that the authorities and the media don't focus on drill lyrics, and is glad that there's more freedom of speech in Kenya. In 2022, they released their debut album, 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 𝙔𝙤𝙪, that means From East Africa to London. The album is a 16-track project and has this creative cover depicting the face of Nairobi on one side and the other side having a red telephone box and houses that are mostly found in London. Brooklyn Boyz have always wanted to reach London and collaborate with artists from London. That's why they decided to name the album 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 𝙔𝙤𝙪. When it was released, the streams reportedly shot up to approximately 500,000. If you have listened to the album, then you can understand why. Personally, I've listened to the album and it has a couple of good songs like Usikami Section, Pre, Nisikize, and 23. Even though the album is largely drill music, the Brooklyn Boyz showcased their versatility by featuring alternative R&B singer Maya Amolo in the song Nisikize. They've also sampled Nikita Kering's X in their track X. The album is proof enough that Brooklyn Boyz understand their craft. The beat selection was perfect, the production was top level, from the mixing and mastering as well as the effects. Even though fans were hoping for more collaborations from bigger names like Wakadinali, Octopizzo, or Calligraph Jones, they still managed to make good songs with other artists like Big Yasa and Silverstone Buzz. in January 2024, they released an EP called B-Boy Settings. The EP, that has 7 tracks, reflects their lifestyle, the hip-hop culture which incorporates Sheng artistry, fashion and style, and without forgetting their love for bike riding. This is their first EP after their debut album, 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣 London. Surprisingly, Brooklyn Boys are doing all these things independently, without the help of any record label, because they have experienced how other artists in Kenya have been messed with their labels, and that's why they don't want anything to do with the labels. They even said that they rather make their own label. So how did they do it without a record label? The success of Brooklyn Boys can be partly attributed to this man called 𝙏𝙝𝙖𝙣, who was assisted in executive roles such as organizing shows, appearances and performances. 𝙏𝙗𝙗 is their manager, and he joined the Brooklyn Boys record label as the group CEO, creative director and advisor, and he helped Brooklyn Boys create a new logo and merchandise. During his time as a manager, 𝙏𝙗𝙗 has connected the group to more opportunities, like hooking them up with producers, video directors and other partners. We can't talk about Brooklyn Boys without talking about this achievement. It is the only Kenyan group to be featured on the global program called 𝙏𝙗𝙗. The 𝙏𝙗𝙗 initiative, launched by Spotify, is aimed at promoting emerging artists across the world. And their fan base is also growing, and currently they have over 60,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. The song Dream ya kutoka kwa Block was also chosen among 7 drill hits in a list curated by GRM, or Grime and Rap Music, a popular urban British music outlet and entertainment platform. GRM stated that the group is part of the reason that drill has grown so much in East Africa, especially here in Kenya and other countries like Rwanda and Tanzania. Despite their rising success, the duo faced challenges in the industry. They were taken advantage of by naive promoters when they verbally agreed to perform at a gig, and their images were used to sell the show, only to appear at the venue and be shortchanged. This angered their fans, but it wasn't their fault. Apart from that, a group called GTA also came out saying that Brooklyn Boys was stealing their style of rap, image and identity as a whole. In response, Brooklyn Boys said they don't know them. The beef escalated when they began dissing each other in songs. GTA even adopted the green bandana, while Brooklyn Boys adopted the blue bandana in order to avoid comparison. GTA still believes they're the best drill artists in Kenya. Brooklyn have also claimed to be the best, and this is for the fans to decide who they think is the best. Now, the group also feels like other artists should appreciate them more as they are doing something different. They disclosed that despite being new to the music industry in Kenya, some people or a group of people are not pleased with the emergence. Maybe they are jealous, but do they really need a collabo? Maybe with 𝙏𝙗𝙗, as I believe they can make a hit song. And let us not forget that in 2022, Sauti Sol featured Brooklyn Boys and 𝙏𝙗𝙗 in a Tujiangalie remix, released days ahead of the 2022 election. 𝙏𝙗𝙗 has also done a collaboration with 𝙏𝙗𝙖𝙣 in the song called Good Morning Africa, released in 2021. Apart from just doing music, they also do other business activities. They own a clothing line selling b-boy pants, shirts and do-rags. Brooklyn Boys have shown it is possible to pursue your dreams, no matter where you're coming from, and they are not stopping anytime soon. They want Africa to know them as heavy drillers, ready to break out of the Kenyan borders. So let's get ready for another round of dope visuals, music and style throughout 2024, because it's Brooklyn Boys season. And thank you very much for watching this video, and let's meet on the next video.